Hello, friendos! It's Mark Sparks, and this whole month I'm doing this thing called Collabathon. For those of you who don't know, that is for people who have small YouTube channels or who don't really know how to YouTube properly, that need help and that need to seek the guidance to really expand on their YouTube channel. I am going to be doing that all this month. Most of my videos will be collaborations with people, and today I have Coyote, a smaller YouTuber who's doing amazing things with their channel, and today I'm going to be asking them a few questions. So if you're ready, Ash.
Excellent, I am ready.
So to start off, just easy, what got you into the fandom?
Well, so I kind of first came into the fandom, and like the typical furry fashion, right? Like you really like animals, and like you might like animal characters, like Disney films and stuff, and then one day you're on Google, you search, and it pops up, and you're like in your search you see this really cute, like, hey, like it's a fox person, right? Click the image and suddenly you have been introduced to furry.
Was there anything you remember specifically about that intro? Like what I guess artist or something to that extent got you into the fandom?
Oh god! Oh yeah, I actually do. So the first furry artist that I came across was this guy by the name of Fluke, who's a really cool dude. Like I ended up meeting him years and years later in at Anthrocon actually, but like I found his art like early on, and it was like these two it was like these two cute little characters cuddling on a couch, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And like I started to try and emulate and like draw and learn like all that fun stuff that you do when you get into the fandom. And then kind of like I didn't really have a full-on name for it until like high school, when one of my friends introduced me to the actual furry fandom as like a social culture as opposed to just art.
What made you choose to be a coyote?
Alright, so I chose to become a coyote after I transitioned. So I'm trans, and my original character was a dingo. And coyote's kind of like a scruffy, world-weathered dingo. And I just kind of figured, like since I went through this process and kind of went through the ringer in it, that like my character kind of deserved to reflect that too.
That makes sense. Now, how much do you like dirt if you're a coyote? I just gotta ask these questions.
Well, dirt maybe not so much. Sand and cactuses though.
Okay. Alright, I can get that. Sand is nice, but I don't know, I'm a Star Wars fan, so I can make a very memorable Star Wars quote.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
What pushed you to start doing for YouTube?
Okay. So, furry YouTube is something that I kind of like. I didn't realize that it was a accessible platform for the fandom per se until more recently. I had this idea where I always wanted to kind of like make videos that could help other people, specifically like younger furries, and like people like myself, like trans who are going through a time in their life where like things might be a little bit more challenging, and just sometimes a friendly voice or face or fursuit on the other side of the screen can help somebody else and make their life just a little tiny bit better,
So, like, did the furry fandom really help you in your transition from male to female?
Absolutely. The furry fandom is kind of like, I would say predominantly LGBT, or at least very LGBT friendly. So, like, the fandom really helped me, and specifically fursuiting, helped me kind of discover myself. Because, like, when you put on a mask, sometimes it kind of helps you reflect about like who you are on the inside, right? And so like I had this original character AJ, which I actually have a suit of him upstairs, but like he was kind of like this idealized version of me, and I kind of started to realize that, hey, this person, like I'm putting on the outside doesn't fit who I am on the inside. And so in that way, yes, the fandom did help me kind of find myself.
That's really awesome, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that in many different forms. And it's really awesome to see you be very open about it, because, as social media kind of sucks from time to time, but being strong and being brave about it is something that is definitely admirable. What is your favorite furry convention? Or, well, I'm sure that you've been to some. So which one's your favorite?
My favorite furry convention by far is MFF. I mean, it's like the perfect con for me. It's like, it's big. All my friends go there. The weather is like literally the most perfect for suiting ever. Like, I mean, Chicago in the winter, right? Like, can't get better than that. And like, I mean, it's just like, it's kind of a really fun venue. Plus, like holiday vibes and all that other stuff. I mean, just amazing. And then, I don't know, like close second would be like BLFC.
I haven't been to BLFC yet, and I want to go so badly.
Oh my god. It's like the best. Well, I mean, it's like second best in my book, but it is amazing.
What is, since you were, you mentioned that this is something that you're new to, what is a way that you want to see your channel go? Like, as far as creativity-wise, or even as content-wise?
Oh, well, so, I mean, currently, like, my channel's kind of going in a direction that's more kind of like, it's quasi-informational, is what I would say, as it stands right now. And I've been trying to, like, kind of curb that over a little bit, too, so I can add in some more just general entertainment stuff, too. So, like, my husband and I decided to do, like, a little collaboration set where we're basically just, have you ever seen what is it called? Check It Out with Dr. Steve Rule?
Check it out!
Oh yeah, it's the guy who is in he's been in a lot of movies, but I love like the Steve Brule that's on Adult Swim.
Yeah. So like we had this like silly idea. So it's called We're in Vegas Roundtable, and like we're essentially doing kind of like a Check It Out, but like as like a really weird, like almost like quasi kids show with with the addition of like instead of like one guy on camera, it's two people, like an over enthusiastic announcer and like a kind of begrudgingly going along character.
What is a memory from the fandom that really sticks out in your head?
I mean, like, well, like the biggest memory for me in the fandom would have been like, I met my husband in the fandom, and like he's really the person who got me into furry, like as it is in my life today, at least. I mean, like I knew of furry, I knew what it was. I had some furry friends, but like before Chip, I wasn't a part of the fandom really. And like I met him, and like we kind of like fell in love, and like went down this wonderful path of life that we have been on for like the past 10 years now.
He was the one who really pushed you into the fandom. Is there anything specific, like especially with those very first starting memories with the fandom? Was there anything that really stuck out in your mind?
Like, oh god, like a specific memory. I'm trying to think. I remember when I got my first suit. Yeah, I mean, like that one was probably like the big changing moment, at least as far as like my interaction in the fandom. So like we'd ordered costumes from or fursuits from One For All, so the guy up in Canada.
Yeah.
And dude has like this infinite wait list that nobody knows about. Takes 3.5 years to get the suit, and like I still remember the day I like opened this thing up and I'm like, oh my god, it's perfect, it's me. And like I put it on, and like immediately afterwards we're heading off to MFF and just having a blast. Yeah.
So how long have you been in the fandom?
Too long maybe. I don't know. I mean, like It depends on what, you know, like, I guess, like, what involvement in the fandom really means. Because, I mean, like, I discovered Furry probably close to 20 years ago now. I kind of identified and lived in that furry sense, probably since, I mean, I would say active in the fandom, 13 years.
That's still a long time.
Yeah, it's a freaking long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm old.
Is there anything in the fandom that you would like to see more of?
Honestly, I think, you know, like, the thing that I would like to see more of in the fandom is people taking a more active, or rather proactive approach, you know, like folks like you and others who do have voices in the fandom, you know, like, really help to kind of, you know, like, kind of push and reshape, in a way, the way the fandom is. Because, I mean, like, we've obviously had, like, that spell of, like, nasty politics and stuff. I was staff at Denver, and I was blown away by the amount of support that came out to really just say, hey, you know what, we're just not going to deal with that stuff in our fandom. We're just, you know, like, gonna be out here, have a good time, and that's it. I don't know, you know, like, I just like to see it get back to that cheerful, like, positive, amazing, you know, like, community that it has been for me.
What is something specific in the fandom that really inspired you? Like, if there was, I don't know, an Uncle Kage story hour or a specific YouTuber. I'm saying these because, like, the Kage story hour in which, you know, he talked about Lemonade Coyote and his death, that one really inspired me. Was there something like that inspired you?
Can it be someone?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so, actually, this past summer, so this kind of goes into one of your earlier questions about, you know, like, getting into YouTube myself. I met a local, well, not a local fur, a California fur that was here in Colorado doing, like, a documentary boot camp for kids. And, like, we kind of became friends and started talking a lot. And they had been doing, you know, like, furry documentaries and a bunch of other, like, smaller, you know, like, smaller things, but, you know, like, things that I kind of saw had a nice impact on the community. And honestly, it was, you know, like, my conversations with him that really took me, or kind of turned me around in, like, this world of media where, you know, like, I had kind of, like, basically thought I didn't have a place anymore. And like, kind of reshape my view to the point where I was like, hey, you know what? You know, like, maybe I can actually do something too. Yeah. You know, like, to take this stuff that I had spent years learning and, you know, like, doing and turn it around into something positive.
All right. Well, that's all I have for questions. Thank you for joining in on this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
It's not a problem. If you want to check out Ash Coyote stuff, her information will be in the channel below, as well as I will leave a nice little end card for you to click on if you need to click on it. And as for that, thank you very much for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, hi, sorry. Didn't see you there. Hi. My name's Mark Sparks. Here today, I'm going to be teaching you how to play the drums in an easy-to-learn tutorial.